Welcome back. Thank you for joining me again. So whether you saw yesterday's video or not, I want to say a massive thank you so much for being here, for saying yes to yourself, because it's not easy, to be honest. It's not easy. I know how it is. I get bombarded by people trying to teach me something or sell me something all the time, and that is why I decided to make this series absolutely different. So if you joined me yesterday, you know that this is all about me giving back. This is all about me. I'm really teaching you what has worked for me, what has worked for hundreds of my clients, and what will continue to work, because it is really fail proof. And I'm hoping that you did watch the training of yesterday, but just in case you didn't, yesterday was all about the lean launch. Yesterday, I challenged you. I wanted to really show you the quickest way to getting 10 high-paying clients in a matter of 30 days, right? Because I've been able to do that over and over and over again and teach it over and over again successfully to people who have achieved it. And I figured this is something that I want to share with you as my way of saying thank you for allowing me to be on this journey with you to help you to scale your business. So whether you are just starting out or you are, and whatever stage you are obviously watching this because you want to create a consistent flow of high-paying clients in your business. So let's recap what the lean launch was. So you might remember this from yesterday, where I broke down my very, very simple 4-stage lean launch. Really, really simple, which is the bait, the first video, the second video, the third video, and your call to action. Very, very simple. And I really, really broke down the fact that everything rests on this bait. Why? Because this is the vortex that opens, the leads coming in. Because here is the thing that I forgot to share with you yesterday. And that is that if you are operating on social media alone, you are in a very dangerous place. Why? Because it doesn't belong to you, right? Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, they don't belong to you. And that means that whoever it belongs to can take it away any day. It's like going to build a house on somebody else's land. It's just not done. Because before you're even done, putting up the house, you get council and you get the government around you and the governing body for that land or for that borough, wherever, that land is. They will come at you with a ton of bricks. It will just come down at you and it will not work. And that is the same thing as running your business on social media alone. You want to create some sort of base, some sort of foundation, and we call this your email list. And that is what this bait over here is all about. This free gift, this bait. And I shared with you yesterday the importance, the 3 core things that you must have in this bait in order for it to work. It must be full of value, it must be congruent to your main offer, and it must be non-salesy. In fact, these 3 rules not only apply to this bait, but they apply to every stage of this lean launch. Once you have that and those leads are coming in, they then start moving through. You've got to create 3 videos that they move through before they hit the call to action. And what is the call to action? The call to action is to schedule a call with you. I'm telling you something. Every time I see, I see a coach. Every time I see a coach who just has the link, to book a call with them, just anywhere, on social media, it could be on their Facebook or Instagram link, and I see it and I'm just like, oh my God, what are you doing? Number one, nobody wants to be sold to, right? We live in a world where we're being sold to all the time, so nobody wants all of that. So we've got to change things. If you want to make some significant shifts this year in your business, you've got to stop doing things the old way and start doing it the new way. And the new way is to use a whole different system, an upside down system, a lean model of bringing clients into your business. Now, based off of yesterday, and I asked you some questions, I've seen some of the answers in the comments, and some of you have reached out to me privately and reached out to members of my team. Now, based off of that, I was thinking, what shall I teach you next? And I figured one of the biggest questions you're going to have is, Pam, what goes in here? What goes in video number 1? What goes in video number 2? What goes in video number 3? And I remember at the end of yesterday's video, I promised to show you an extended version of this strategy where you are actually generating $20,000, $30,000, even $50,000 if you want to, without having to talk to people on the phone all the time. Okay, so I am going to show you that, and I'm going to show you the map of that tomorrow. But today, I really want to focus on what goes in here, because the most important thing about this lean model, the most important thing is it's in what goes in this page, what goes in the videos. That is what determines what comes out, right? When somebody hops on that call with you, the state of mind that they are in is really what we are trying to mold, or direct, if you know what I mean, right? That's what you want to have control of. So today, I want to show you something extra special. This is something that I use every day, all day, every day, in everything, whether I'm recording a video, creating a new bait, teaching, speaking on stage, on a webinar, writing a sales page, writing copy, social media, anything. And this is Persuasion Triggers. And in fact, I want to give you 5 persuasion triggers. What are persuasion triggers? I mentioned earlier that nobody likes to be sold. Nobody does. You don't, I don't. But yet we all buy stuff, right? Now, offline and online, they're very different worlds. Very similar, but they are very different worlds in terms of the way that we do business and in terms of the buyer's journey. Now, the most important thing you want to know as a coach, consultant, service-based entrepreneur, course creator, anybody who wants to run a successful business teaching others online, a successful business helping others, is you need to understand the pressure points, right? The persuasion points, the triggers that really cause people to buy. So I want to share 5 of those with you right now. When I think about these persuasion triggers, I think about them as your weapons of mass persuasion, your weapons of mental trigger, your weapons to really sell the heck out of anything that you are selling. And I'm not even kidding. Once you discover what these things are, your eyes are going to open and you are going to truly, you're going to have just amazing success. So the first, there are so many persuasion triggers. There's about 30 that I teach about, but I want to teach you 5 today. And the first one is, number 1, persuasion trigger, authority. Authority, okay? That is the first persuasion trigger. I was once in central London and I really needed the bathroom, and I was walking past the Ritz, the hotel, the Ritz as in the Ritz that's in the movies, right? Now, to get into the Ritz, you can't just get in, you have to have a reason to be in, right? It's almost like a private members type of place, because you can't just walk in, you've got to be with money, you've got to be a person of money. And I remember that I really needed the bathroom, and that day I'd just gone shopping. So I had my shopping bags and I had my husband with me, but I wasn't dressed for the Ritz. I was wearing my jeans, I was wearing trainers, and all of these things that wasn't ritzy, if you know what I'm trying to say. But because I understood, the authority that it gives you access, I then found somewhere to just quickly put on, a new blazer that I had bought, put on a nice pair of heels, and instantly held my head up and just literally walked in. Now, the people standing at the doors looked at me and they just watched me walk in, and I didn't even look at them. I just kept walking and I just kept going, and I arrived at where I needed to go, right at the bathroom, used the bathroom, and came back out, and no questions were asked. Why? It is because authority, there are several ways of having authority. One of the ways of having authority is to have real authority, in the sense that, you have qualification in something, or you have real expertise in a specific area. But in order for somebody to know that you have real expertise, they have to already know you. But what if nobody knows who you are, and yet you need to have authority? Right? You're probably thinking, Pam, I haven't been running my business very long, or I have been running my business, but I don't have a big audience. How do I have authority? Well, when it comes to your buyer's journey, the most important thing about authority that you need to have, beyond being visible and being seen, you don't even have to be out there to have authority. You just need a system. You need a system. Once you have some sort of sales system, you will have instant authority. I remember a couple of years ago when I was, really struggling, in my business, and really thinking, is this really for me? Should I stop it? Should I keep going? I remember that I had an offer. I was teaching webinars at the time, and my offer was $500, only $500. Now, I had created a sales system. It was a webinar funnel, and I hadn't tested it. Now, I was really busy. I had, my first son at that time. I think he was 2 or something at that time. And this lady reached reached out to me on social media and she said, Pam, can I have a chat with you? And I remember thinking, I'm really busy at the moment. I can't get on a call with you right now. But she kept messaging me because she had seen some of my other videos. And she's like, Pam, can we just, schedule a time? Kept sending me messages. And, just to, almost just stop the conversation, I said, hey, have a look at this. And if you still want to talk to me, then reach out to me. So I sent her a link to watch a video in my webinar funnel. She watched the video and she reached out to me, and within about 3 hours, and she said, oh my God, Pam, now I cannot wait to speak with you. So I remember looking at my phone and thinking, that's a little bit strange. So I messaged her back. We scheduled a time for the following day. Now the following day we got on Zoom for a call. Now, we're on Zoom and we're saying, hi, how are you? Where are you based? I'm doing small talk because really I'm so nervous about this call because I've never really closed anything on this call. Now, remember I said earlier that my offer at that time was $500. Now, before I could even get into my questions, she said to me, Pam, listen, just tell me, how much is it to work with you? It's around the $10,000 mark, isn't it? And I remember just watching her and my jaw dropped. My jaw dropped because at that time, my offer was $500. She's just insinuated that it's around $10,000 to work with me. Now, she, because of something she had seen, because of the system that she had seen in her mind, already thought that my offer was 10 times what it really was. Why? Because the system gave me authority. There was a second thing that it gave me, right? That allowed me to really persuade not just her, but people coming to work with me. And that was trust. Before people can buy from you, they've got to trust you. They've got to trust that, you are who you say you are. They've got to trust that you can get them results. They've got to trust that it will work for them. They've got to trust that if they give you their money, it won't just be a bad investment. These are some of the objections that will come up when you're speaking to people on the phone or when you are writing copy and people are considering working with you. So, in order to be able to bypass this, you have got to think about this ahead of time. You've got to think about, how am I going to show authority, that I really know what I'm talking about and that I am the go-to? How am I going to instill trust? And then the third persuasion trigger that I want to talk about is this social proof. Social proof. Now, this is one of my favorites. It's not my all-time favorite. It's one of my favorite things when it comes to persuasion, social proof. Now, if you look below this video, you're going to see a stack of social proof. Now, when I first started, I didn't have all of that. I probably had like 1 or 2 testimonials, but I had to learn the way to position that social proof. I had to learn to position it via video, then to take that video and grab the audio, and that becomes another form of social proof. To take that audio and transcribe it into text, and that became another form of social proof. Really, really, really important to think about it because it really helps people to buy. And then number 4 is that connection. Another reason why people buy is because they're connected to you. Do you see what I'm trying to say? They're connected to you. And one of the biggest ways to really encourage that connection, or to really help people to connect with you, is through your story. Now, you'll notice that throughout this training, I'm giving you lots of stories. They're all true stories, by the way. But really understanding storytelling and what stories to use really helps with that connection. And that is one of the persuasion triggers that works every time, because we buy from people who we like, people who we are connected to, or people who we want to stay connected to. Very important. And last but not least is message. Right? Number 5 is your message. Right? This is such a huge persuasion trigger. What is your message? What is the message that you want people to know about your business? Right? So on that note, I want to walk you right into another training that I created that is all about your messaging, because like I said to you, I promise you that over the course of these few days where I'm giving you these trainings, I'm giving you all value. So I want you to watch this specific training, because all I teach on it is messaging. Why am I giving you an in-depth training on messaging? Because without that, it doesn't matter what authority you have. It doesn't matter whether people trust you or not. It doesn't matter whether you have social proof. They don't care. It doesn't matter whether they are connected with your story or not. If your messaging isn't hitting the mark, then they're not going to pay attention and then ultimately not going to buy. But when you have a combination of all of these 5 trigger points and a few more that, I will be teaching you about later on down the line, then you have the recipe for mass persuasion and mass sales. So let's head into that training right now. When I teach on messaging, or when people craft their messaging and they send to me for audit, one of the biggest problems that I see is that inside of people's messaging and what they're putting out there, the reason people aren't biting is because there are no tangibles, right? It's what I call fluffy. It isn't clear, it isn't specific, and it does absolutely nothing. In fact, it's like a balloon that's losing life. Do you see what I'm trying to say? It's just a deflating balloon. It's not going to go anywhere. So the 3 things you need: big problem, right? What is the big problem that you solve for your clients? And make it a big problem. It has to be big, right? It has to be so big to the point that it's urgent. And if you are unsure whether the problem you solve is big enough, then when we get on our call, this is one of the things we will be talking about. The second thing you need is your big solution. Now, what is the big solution that you have to their big problem? Once you know exactly who it is you're working with, you know the big problem you are solving, you've got to know how best to deliver the solution, how best to help them. Is it best to help them via coaching, via consulting, via a mastermind? What is the best way to deliver a big solution? And finally, probably the most important, in fact, all of these 3 things are important, but where a lot of people really drop the ball is in that big benefit. My God. Now, the big benefit is the reason why people will buy from you, right? The big benefit is what says, look, I know that there are so many other people who do this stuff, but you have been able to show me why I need this. So many people are good at talking about the problem and are good at saying, oh, I have an online course that will help you with so-and-so. But not many people are good at telling you why you need that solution. Not many people are able to move you from a place of just observing to a place of knowing that, goodness me, not only do I have this problem, but I need to change this problem right now. And we have 2 words that help us with crafting that big solution, and those are the words so that, right? So that what? So you state your big problem, you state your solution, and then you add in so that. And then you state that benefit. The reason you have this solution to that big problem is so that your ideal clients can have this benefit. So really, really, really important. The second secret, or the second pillar, is storytelling. Now, a lot of people say to me, Pam, there are so many, programs and sales systems out there, and a lot of people have taken these programs and still come and work with me. What is it about you? Why does what you do work so well? They can't seem to put a finger in it until we begin to work together. And one of the biggest things that they miss is this: storytelling. Right? It's been one of the most incredible ways that I have built my business being an actress. I was able to bring in stories that convert, stories that move people to the buy button, stories that move you away from thinking, oh, I'm reading a sales page and, oh, you're trying to sell to me, or stories that move you away if you're on a call with somebody from them thinking, now you are about to make me an offer. Now you are about to sell me your stuff that I don't even need, that I don't even want, all of those things, to actually going into their head and really psychologically changing things around so that they begin to walk themselves and see themselves getting that big benefit we talked about. That is the power of storytelling. So in one of the trainings, once you book that call with me, one of the trainings that you will actually receive from me is a formula for how I do storytelling. And it's a formula called the BINGO. Bingo. Right? That is the formula that I will be teaching you. We use this formula inside of the Lucrative Sales System Mastermind to craft our video sales letters, so that when you have your sales system in place, the very things that sells each offer on each page and brings people, walks them right through your entire sales system, bringing them right to your very top, are those videos. It is those stories. Because guess what? Right? If you want people to buy from you, you've got to understand that they've got to buy into you first. And once they have bought into you, they will continue to buy from you. So the second point is storytelling. Now, and finally, the third secret, and that is a lucrative sales system. Now, the 3 secrets to creating a consistent flow of clients, right, is number 1, messaging, really good magnetic messaging. Number 2, storytelling, very, very important. Now, how do you put this together? Because yes, you can do the spray and pray strategy, which is what a lot of people do and what I certainly used to do. And that is put together messaging and post on social media and all of those things and post in various groups. And all of those things are well and good and they do work. But I found myself constantly chasing my tail for clients, constantly having to keep up with my inbox on various different platforms and, keep up with email and keep up with all sorts of different things. And when people did book a call with me finally, they weren't really, really qualified because they didn't walk through a system. So secret number 3 is that you've got to take all of this as well as an awesome irresistible offer and place it inside of a sales system that literally moves people through your messaging so that they buy into what you have to sell, through your storytelling so that they buy into you, the person behind it, and that literally walks them through your offer. And I'm telling you something, this is the key. These 3 things are absolutely crucial if you want to create that consistent flow of clients. If you want to stay away from having to chase non-committed or non-paying clients, you've got to have the right messaging with the big problem, the big solution, the big benefit. You've got to have the right stories, and these are several stories that go inside of your sales systems using the BINGO formula, right? And you've got to have your lucrative sales system, which is what ties everything together, including your irresistible offer, right? Because this is what they are coming for in the end. The problem is that a lot of people start by trying to make an offer without first taking people through a process to get to that offer, right? Can you see the difference? If people don't know you, if they've only just come across your brand and you're trying to make them a full whack offer, the chances of them converting are very, very low. But if they come through a system and a process and they have bought into you, it's just an incredible way to run your business. So welcome back. Just to recap, the 5 persuasion triggers are authority, trust, social proof, connection, and ultimately your message. All of these things are absolutely crucial. And in that last bit of the training that I had recorded previously, I showed you a deep dive into the 3 core areas when it comes to mass persuasion with your messaging. So here is what I want you to do for me today. I want you to comment below and I want you to tell me what are those 3 things for you? What is the big problem that you are solving? What is your big solution? And what is the big benefit? I want you to construct it into a baseline message, just like I taught you in that other training, right? Construct it, and don't worry if, don't think, Pam, is this right? Is this not right? I will tell you, okay? I'm here to help you. I will give you some feedback. If I'm not here, a member of my team will be, but we will surely get back to you because I want you to be on the right track because this is absolutely crucial to your success. So you know what you have to do? Comment below and let me know what is your baseline message so that we can support you. And if you have questions, make sure you pop it below. And then tomorrow, I'm really, really excited to be mapping out what the entire sales system looks like so that you can move from not just doing a lean launch or getting your messaging right to actually creating a consistent flow of a high-paying clients on autopilot. So make sure you come back tomorrow. I will be in your inbox to deliver the training. I have to tell you that all of these trainings will be disappearing very, very soon. So if you haven't already watched yesterday's training from day 1, make sure you do. Make sure you take action from today and come back tomorrow as well. And I'll see you then. And leave the comment because I will be coming back to read them. See you tomorrow. Bye.